Okay, gonna do a short video I've been kind of avoiding doing. Gonna get right to it. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to get 5 cases of 223 here, and I'm just gonna get them set up, resized, primed, charged, trimmed, and loaded. And I wanted to show you this guy here that, yes, even though he's all messed up like that, we're gonna be able to save that because it's just bent. It's not like creased or anything. It's just kind of like someone stepped on it. So let's get to it so this doesn't get way too long. First thing I'm gonna do, you gotta get them resized. These have been deprimed, but if yours weren't, your sizing die could deprime them, or you could do it in with a universal decapping die. So the first one's lubed up. My full length sizer's going in. Ram all the way up. You can see my videos on how to do all this, but I'm going to try to do it all in one hit for you. There we go. I don't really like making videos like this because what if you don't care about the first 2 steps? Shell holders in, number 10. Up we go. Alright, first one's done. I get that grease off of there, and I try not to get any down inside of it because it'll mess up your powder as it sits in there for however long it sits. This was our case that was all messed up, okay? It looks really good now. It's round, and there might be a little shoulder dent, but it's okay. Here we go, 3, 4, and 5. Small cases don't need to lube every single time. Bigger cases like 30-06 might take, maybe I run a lubed case in there a little more often. All 5 cases are done now. I got this drill set up with a cleaning bristle. I'm gonna run it over here so you don't blow your ears out. Oh, horrible planning by the video guy. This is the big brush. Let's get the small brush. There we go. This should be a small brush. This is an optional step to clean out the primer pocket. That's your choice if you want to do it. Now, once this is done, we gotta check them for length. And maybe we'll get lucky, they'll all be okay. I got my little tin, that I like to put my primers in. Ah, that one needs to be resized. That one's good. So I'm listening for that ting noise you can hear in my other video about the case gauge. That one's good. That one's good. Ah, we only had one. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to skip trimming that guy. I had all the gear out to do it. I'm just going to load 4 because I don't want this to take all day. So we're done with this. I'm going to move my shell holder. This is my poor man version of a turret press. If you have 2 of these and a powder measure, you can kind of sort of emulate a turret. So let's do this. All right, these need to be primed. Oh, that's what I was going to do, guys. I was going to show you how to prime them on the drill, on the press. This has got to come out of the way. If you choose to prime it, don't do it while you're doing it with this thing in there. It'll just keep popping your dang primers out. So here we go. Let's prime these 4 cases. There. Alright, 1 done. 2 done. Alright, those are all done. Now I can take my shell holder over here. Or you can have 2 shell holders. You know, for 30-06 I got a million of them because I got 308, 243, and just on and on. Okay, they're primed. How did I get the wrong one? Good grief. They're primed. I bet you that. Yeah, that was the long one. All right, these 4 are primed. Good grief. And now it would be time to charge them. So let me get this guy in here. Kind of started. Let's get this charged. This is already set up. I'll get you a video on how to set up a lineman. And what I wanted to show you was this guy. Now you can see we're not at 0. And the reason is we're not level. Okay, so I got a little, the leg down here has a threaded screw in it to go up. I wanted to check the 0, which I just set. Now I'm setting 70 to make sure my 2 dimes zero me out, to make sure that moving that around didn't mess with anything. That's pretty close. That's good enough, for goodness sake. I'm only going up to 20. So you can take about 1/3 of that error. That's how much error I'll have at 20 grains. So let's put this at 20. Yep. Make sure there's no in there. That's a little bit high at 20, so let's see where we're at. Like, are we at 21? So there's one surround. So we're not at 21, but we're somewhere in between, so let's back it out to 20.5. I can run a 20.5. It's a little higher than that. 20.6. Let's grab another charge. This guy. Back in here. Alright, let's put this here. See if the second charge is also all messed up. So this charge isn't quite as bad. So that charge is pretty close to 20. So I'd probably call that good enough. You know, you can measure these out with a spoon constantly if you want. The powder throw is pretty good. Normally. All right, up and in. Let's see how far. Wow, I had that almost down where I wanted it. So maximum overall length is 2260. So I'm locked at 2259. You can see that I'm quite a ways off, which makes sense. That, I mean, I'm not even close to the cantilever. So go down some and see where we're at. We're still over. That's probably looking pretty close. Look at that. It slides right under. That's a good spot. So let's use this bullet to hold that spot. Lock it in. Now that's an overall length. That's a magazine restriction, not necessarily setting this up for jump in my barrel. I'm restricted by the magazine usually in an AR. That's why some of them make like premium barrels with really small chambers, like Sammy Minimum, which is fine, but I don't like to buy those. Those are like Ultra Match. So these look pretty good. I've done these a lot. I kind of just eyeball them, and if I want to, I'll like check one. They seem a little bit high, but I don't have that calibrated of an eye, so that's probably just me guessing. But all right, these are just set up, right? I didn't have to trim them, so I didn't have to chamfer them, so I didn't have to deburr them. On and on and on, all the things I didn't have to do because these ones were not too long. Too long, and then all of a sudden you've got a whole bunch of trimming and stuff to do. Okay, that's it. Now, if you really want to, you could start dropping these in here. I don't know it kind of makes sense if you maybe are applying a crimp and you want to make sure you're not bulging the neck by improperly crimping. So, all right, that's how you do 4. If I didn't have to trim that other one, I loaded 5.